Good. Hi there, my name is Anthony Rodriguez, and this is my informative speech on spearfishing. Spearfishing. Many individuals are completely unaware of the rich history and implements of spearfishing today. What if I said that spearfishing is helping to combat things like extinction as well? Interested now? Spearfishing has a deep history, going back thousands of years. It has a variety of spears for every spearfisherman out there, and spearfishing practices are even considered one of the most sustainable activities despite its nature. But in order to explain spearfishing, it's important to explore its deep history and how it has evolved. While the exact origins of spearfishing are unknown, a 2022 article by Spearfishing Today states that ancient cave paintings depicts spearfishing from as far back as 16,000 years ago. Furthermore, we know that there are groups of seafaring tribes which exclusively spearfish. In Miriam O'Callahan's 2018 article, The Story of the Bajau Tribe, she shares her experience with the tribes and how they have been spearfishing for generations. These people have even adapted to stay underwater for longer than any other group of people on the planet. While spearfishing has vastly changed to be more of a sport and recreational activity than a means of survival, it is quite amazing to think that we are doing the same things as people did thousands of years ago. While spearfishing has a rich history, and many changes have been made over the years, one thing that is held out are the types of spears. While there are various subcategories of spears, there are three main types used today. These three are the pole spear, the Hawaiian sling, and the spear gun. The pole spear is normally a very long, anywhere between 4 to 6 feet, aluminum or carbon fiber pole with a tipped end. Pole spears work by having a looped rubber band attached to the side opposite of the tip, in which then the rubber band is pulled forward and released when the fish is seen. Pole spears come with a variety of spear tips, from the 3-pronged paralyzer tip and to less complex tips like the single barb tip. The Hawaiian sling is another type of spear commonly used in spearfishing. This type of spear takes similar elements of the pole spear, but with a different approach. The Hawaiian sling is commonly made out of a lightweight wood or synthetic material that has a small cylindrical shape with a hole drilled through it for the spear to go through, and a rubber band to pull back on to launch the spear. In the Scuba 2022 by Fernando Lopez, the Hawaiian sling is said to be, quote, considered one of the most accurate ways to catch fish from a distance, end quote. These spears are normally between 60 to 75 inches in length, and similar to the pole spear, can have a variety of tips. The last type of spear is the spear gun. The spear gun is one of the most commonly used types of spears. Spear guns have the most variation in shape, ranging anywhere from 1 to 2 feet long to 6 or more feet long. Spear guns generally work by having a shaft in which the spear sits, a locking and trigger mechanisms, and normally 2 to 3 rubber bands, and along with a line of some sort that attaches the spear and the gun. This line helps to keep the spear and the gun attached, so that way if the fish runs off, you will still be able to keep the fish. Like all the other types of spears, spear guns can also come equipped with multiple tips, although the most commonly featured are the single barb tip or the bullet nose tip. Now that we have talked about the history and the types of spear use, let's discuss why spearfishing is so important today. While spearfishing may seem like just another hobby, it is actually extremely sustainable. Given spearfishing's history with native tribes and how native tribes are notorious for being cautious and sustainable in their hunting, spearfishing itself is extremely sustainable by nature. In a 2023 National Geographic article on sustainable fishing, they listed spearfishing as a sustainable method of fishing and said it, quote, is considered sustainable because it targets one fish at a time and results in very little bycatch, end quote. Another article, a 2021 article by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, states that since the 2014 study, the number of threatened fish has doubled. The sustainable fishing practices like spearfishing are necessary to keep this number from escalating any further. and to preserve our fish populations for future generations to enjoy. While this may not be the most popular hobby, spearfishing does have quite a lot to offer. Spearfishing has a rich history behind it and can be done in a variety of ways depending on preference and even budget. Spearfishing is not only a very fun hobby, but a surprisingly good one for our environment. The sustainability behind spearfishing is something that isn't commonly known, but that spearfishermen are actively doing to combat our declining ocean health. And that is all. Thank you.